Hi and welcome to this easy Joomla guide tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to do some more advanced topics on content management, including the different text editors that are available in Joomla, what might happen when you paste from say Word or an online document to these rich text editors, the various styles that will be defined within there that you can mark your content up with in terms of making it bold or using lists or headings and things like that. The default rich text editor that comes with Joomla is called TinyMCE. Now, all of the editors are plugins, so if we go to Extensions Plugins, we can take a look at the plugin types that are text editors. In this Select Type option, we're going to go to Editors, and that will show us text editors available in the system. The default one that comes with the system that will show up when you try and create a new article is TinyMCE. That stands for Mambo Content Editor. That name comes from Joomla's predecessor, Mambo. The other editor types are none, so you can select to have no editor and just directly work in HTML. The other ones we have here are CodeMirror, which I haven't really used. It's another type of editor, and JCE, which is Joomla Content Editor. This is an aftermarket one. It is not packaged with the core software, but it's quite good and quite popular. You may have it on your system. If you want to install Joomla Content Editor, it installs just like any other extension, and you get that over here at joomlacontenteditor.net. Navigate to the download section. There are two versions of this. There's a paid version, and there's a free core version. To get the pro version, you click through here and you make your payment, create an account. The core version is available down here. There are your file downloads. Now when we go to create a new content item or article in Joomla, if we haven't changed it, the default editor will appear, and that is MCE, and that looks like this. And just to show you the difference, I have another tab here where I have Joomla Content Editor JCE loaded, and that's what this looks like. Now, when you're creating a new article, you may have typed it up on Microsoft Word or your word processing program of choice. I have an example here of an article about grapes from Wikipedia, just pasted into Word. So if we take that and paste it in here, the content is sitting neatly within the content editor. Now for some versions of Word and some versions of Joomla, it will sometimes take the styles with it. If you notice in this one, I had made this text in red, and when we brought it through, it didn't continue making that in red, so it didn't bring the styles with it. If you know a little bit about HTML, you can have a look at the source code to make sure that it hasn't brought in what are called inline styles. This button here will bring you to the source, and also this button here. And what we ideally want here within Joomla is to use plain HTML. So the word history here is wrapped in H2 tags, and then the paragraph are wrapped in paragraph tags neatly, and so forth. Now the reason for this is the style that is applied to all H2 tags is defined in whatever template we're using for this website. The style for paragraphs is also defined in that template. So when we go to the front page, all of the paragraphs are defined with the same style, but they're defined independently of the actual content. Inline styles appear like this, where the style is defined directly in here. And the problem with that is, if at some point in the future we change the look and feel on the website, this style that is defined here will still hold true. Whereas if the style is kept plain, then whatever style gets redefined in the style sheets of the new template will apply to this, and all H2s will look like all of the rest of them across the site. So it's a very good idea. It is best practice to have plain HTML and not have inline styles in your content. If you do find that when you paste something in, it brings the styles with it, there are two buttons here on the Joomla content editor to remove formatting. We'll remove all of the formatting. The bold disappeared there. Or this one just does a cleanup of the HTML. So first try the cleanup of the HTML, and if you see formatting after that, clear all of the formatting and do your own formatting in here, making things bold, making things headings and whatnot. Very similar in the MCE editor. We paste in here. We can look at the source code of this by selecting this button. And we can see that it hasn't brought inline styles with it. Each of the items is wrapped correctly in a simple HTML tag. Okay, and there's a number of ways that you can set the default content editor. If we go to global configuration, which is system, global configuration, we can set the global setting for the default content editor that's going to be used across the site. And that's down here in the site tab under site settings, default editor. Any editors that are installed and published will be available in this list. And the default is TinyMCE, as I say. The other place you can set it is on a per user basis. If you go into users manage and select one of your users, there's a setting in the second tab to define the editor that that particular user will see when they're logged in. So if we go to Homer here, basic settings, the editor is set to use the default, and the default is the global default, but we can override that in here and set that to a different editor. So that's how you find what editors you have installed. That are two ways you can define the editor for the global population, the global users of the site, or on an individual user basis. And we've also shown you how to manage rich text editors when you're pasting content in, particularly from other sources. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this Easy Joomla Guide tutorial.